Hey guys, shave with the Nacet, not too many uses on it, just 4 approximately. And we're going to use the 15 millimeter vintage Gillette Deluxe. And it did not give me a great shave last time I used it. And if I can remember, I think I got better results. Try another blade in it, see what happens. The 17 millimeter has that Criterion handle with a neat diamond pattern, and it's the base plate is permanently attached to the handle, and just the twist on the bottom is what secures everything with a top cap that has a longer bolt. This one is different, and it has more of a conventional style 3-piece design, which is nice because any normal handle will fit it. In case I feel like getting a little heavier one than this. This is hollow, and so this is definitely a head-centric razor in terms of the weight. As you can see, and I used it recently, kind of a copper color, red brass maybe, who knows, there, and then brass here. And this is the Deluxe. It's a new Deluxe, and you can tell it's a Deluxe because it doesn't have that speed bump running right down the middle of the base plate. It's all flat. So it's kind of easy to find, and easy to find the difference and see it. You know, some razors you have to get somebody to take a picture at a certain angle to see some of the nuances. All right, so this Nacet is pretty young, and we'll put the blade on there. We got that center rail helping to keep the blade aligned, and we have the 4 posts in the corners to continue that work, and so we're not going to have any alignment problems with the blade. However, getting that rail to drop into the slot has never been that difficult, so I don't know why. All right, there we go. So let's just see if this, take a look at it. No, it doesn't look super exposy, super harsh. Let me throw some water on my face just to get my beard to start to soften. The brush we're going to use today is the Omega 20102, and it's been soaking for probably, by the time I start to use it, probably about half an hour. It is a new brush to me. I've done one test lather with it. A couple of instances of giving it a good long soak and then letting it dry for a day and then doing, you know, that kind of thing. So the tips did come to me split a little bit, and so I'm trying to find out from the original owner maybe how many shaves it had, because I'm curious about that. I might put it in my borathon rotation once I can figure out some of those details. It gave me a pretty good test lather the other day, and so even though it's an Omega, it sometimes has those unbleached bristles that can just not be enjoyable for quite a while. I imagine it gets great later on down the line, but I just rather enjoy so many of the other bores that I have instead of waiting forever. All right, I'm going to pour a little bit of this lather juice. This is the Fine Accoutrements ceramic bowl, which I really like. They all stack up on each other if you want to do that. They don't come with tops, but if you get those little tiny nacho cheese containers, like at the Dollar Tree or whatever, that fits exactly on this container. I did not pour out all the water because who knows how much water I'm going to actually use. This had a chance to soak for 15 minutes. That is not typical for me, but that's just the way this worked out tonight. This is the green vetiver, and I haven't used it yet. I'm going to try a 30-second load, and then we will see how that works. As usual, I'm going to shake much of the water out. 30-second may be overkill with this puck since it got soaked for such a long time. If you watch my channel and you saw some of my bores, then you would have seen that long black plastic handle Omega that has a similar loft as this, and I first thought, well, there we go, and I think that was, oh no, that's 20 seconds. Okay, so we'll go to 8 on the next one, and then that'll be 30 seconds. Get to talking with just 30 seconds, and And there we go. So that's 30 seconds. And as you can see, we've got kind of wet lather pouring over. Never tried this. This is actually a puck I haven't tried yet. You know what? Let's go for another 10 seconds. Just because it's all a bunch of unknown. So it'll be a 40-second load. Better overkill than not, usually. So it visibly doesn't look like there's too much soap there, but I'll bet there is. I'll bet we're not going to have a problem. And so now I want to go ahead and rinse this while it's the easiest to rinse that it's probably going to get. And so I've really enjoyed the fine soaps over the months that I've used them. I just haven't had a chance to try this scent yet. I like them so much, just the fact that they're hard pucks. They're going to last a long time for the value, about 12 bucks each for just the pucks. Now, I believe just the pucks are going to be discontinued because they're discontinuing that ceramic bowl. They didn't make, the green vetiver, of course, is more of a green color, but they didn't, while they made several color options, they didn't make one for the green. I will probably never own the lavender one, which is a perfect match for that blue, because the lavender has the mint, peppermint in there as well, and that's just not my thing. So I bought the lavender one for the green, because blue and green are in kind of a related color family. All right, so let's get this shave underway. I do have just a little bit of that's that bloom water that I poured into there. I do feel that this brush has a medium backbone. So I was disappointed when I got the brush because in the pictures it seems like it's a lot smaller. Now normally I'd be happy that a brush was bigger, but with this loft being so tall, I mean, let's compare this with, here's a kind of a normal silver tip badger brush. It's just tall. And with that black handled one, the 10098 that I had put, a good many shaves on, I realized that, number one, the tips were being really slow to split. And so it was going to take a long time to break in. Maybe it's awesome once it breaks in, but I just didn't feel like waiting. I had so many great options that were already comfortable in my Samog and Zenith brushes, and even another Omega. Oh yeah, look at that. We instantly have tons of early lather, and so we're definitely not going to have a lather generation problem regarding quantity. And so I saw the loft, and man, it looked like it was the same loft. 2 teaspoons now into the lather of water. Looked like it was the same loft, and so I thought, dang it, because the loft was really the reason. Slow break-in, sure. I mean, maybe I can be patient. Maybe I could do a shortcut method. If I put 60 uses on it and it still didn't really get enjoyable to use, that 9.8, then I'll do some kind of tip accelerator break-in method, on that one, because it's not an expensive brush. But then I thought, wait a minute, I was experiencing some lag problems with it as I was trying to mix it, load the soap, even on my face, and meaning that it was kind of dragging around my face like this instead of staying splayed and moving around. And so I thought, even if I fix the tips, I'm not going to enjoy that lag. And so I kind of booted it out of my borathon, my lineup of bore brushes that I'm all kind of raising up together. And since I had done that, I thought, this looks too much like that. And so here fortunately it's a used brush, and so I didn't pay very much for it, but here I've got this brush that's going to be basically the same thing. Well, I looked it up. It's 5 millimeters less loft. Now, it's a lot of loft, but it's 5 millimeters less. And so I thought, I'll give it a shot. So here we are. And furthermore, the tips, they look like they were splitting. So if the tips are actually going to split, then we may be talking about some comfort. 3 teaspoons now in the lather. So these bristles, maybe somehow, from my understanding, Omega just uses the same kind of bristles. Now they're either dyed or bleached or unbleached. So there's kind of two kinds of bristles with them. But I thought, hey, if this is going to work, let's give it a shot. The lather looks terrific from Fine. That's another reason I just love their lather. Love those soaps. And so I have American Blend. I have the Platinum. I have one of my favorite all times right up there, close to me, even still staying in the bathroom. Always ready for a shave is the Fine Santal Absolute sandalwood type scent that they have. And the Fresh Vetiver is an amazing scent as well. So I went ahead and got the green Vetiver just because I had so many of the other ones. I really think I could be happy just using Fine soaps for the rest of my life, rotating between the 5 or whatever that I have, They started out with those ceramic bowls, and I bought a few of them. Bought a couple more once I heard from the maker directly from the maker, saying that they were going to phase them out because I guess they just weren't selling as well as he wanted them to. And I really like them. I like my tobacco ceramic jar. I like my Mitchell's Wool Fat ceramic jar. I'm just a kind of a sucker for ceramic jars that exactly fit a hard soap. I just really like that. And I was hoping that then I'd be able to just buy the refills over the years, as I used them up. But I don't know if they're going to stop production of the refill pucks. But I know the jars are phasing out. They may stop the refill pucks. Man, I'm just adding water. I've added 4 teaspoons of water plus the water that was already in the bowl. And look, this is just... Look at that. Look at that. That is awesome. We're going to have to check that out with the fingers. See if I've put too much water in it. No. It's so nice sometimes it's fun to play around with different soaps. But then once you come back to your favorites, and the reason why is because of great scents, great feel, great slickness, great hydration, all those good things, then it's just extra special when you are welcomed back to the fold by a soap base that you really enjoy. All right. Well, I've got plenty of soap to do the job, so I'm looking forward to this shave. Again, splashing on the face. I've got cold water. It's actually a couple inches of snow outside, and this is the Carolinas. And so that doesn't happen often. So 4 teaspoons of water into this lather. 40 seconds of loading, 4 teaspoons of water, plus a little bit from the soaking of the puck. So it's not exactly reproducible, but you saw the way that lather behaved. Now that you can reproduce. So I do like the Fresh Vetiver a little better. And this does live up to his name, Green Vetiver. Definitely a green scent. And we're also just kind of testing this brush for the first time. See if I want to maybe put it through a few, soaks and wet and dry cycles to, if it's not that comfy. See, this could actually still use a little bit more water probably, but let's just work it and see what happens. Yeah, I like the scent pretty well. Yeah, let's put a little bit of water, refilling the syringe now. So this would be, if we empty this whole syringe, which we probably won't, this will be 6 teaspoons used. It is kind of a massagey feel, but it is kind of broom-like. I'm definitely feeling some pokiness, but nothing, a few tiny prickly spots. Probably some tips that just haven't split yet. Don't want the drops to be, yeah, see, look, you see this lather has been increasing now since I've been adding water. So yeah, we needed to add that water. And now I can take that lather, keep it from flying off, put it into the bowl there. Not the most comfortable handle to hold, but it's serviceable and works. And it's got kind of a neat basic simplicity to it. There is a sticker that comes with this. See, and this lather still could use a little bit more water if I wanted to. The sticker comes, but it just, it's renowned, as I was reading online, for not staying on the brush after just a few uses because it wasn't really a waterproof sticker. So you could, if you bought this brush and wanted to preserve that, you could maybe put some nice clear tape over it or some kind of sealant. So you saw how flexible and hydrated, how elastic that lather was, and I'm still adding water to it. All right, I'm going to go ahead and stop. We've massaged the face. We've worked the lather into the surface of the skin so that it can be a slick layer of protection. 5 teaspoons of lather. And see, yeah, I scraped that lather away, but I still had plenty because it was still kind of building some. So yeah, I didn't quite need to load for that long, as it turns out. But that's okay. I'm going to stick the rest of this water in the bowl, and I'll mix that up before the next pass. I do have cold water now, like I said, because of the winter time. But I'm bringing in slowly. Oh, now see that. The Wizamat was not as nice as this. This is the Nacet, just a few uses on it, and it is a delight to use, and I'm really glad. The Wizamat has been really good for me in other razors, and so this is the first one that it just wasn't all that great in. Kind of a vintage Wizamat, I think. You know, the Wizamat is the one that has the same markings as the Pole Silver. Some people claim it's the same blade. Some people, maybe they don't claim it's the exact same blade, but they really like the feel, and it happens to feel just as good as the Pole Silvers. Pole Silvers are a little bit expensive right now. The distributors may be holding back with what the supply that they have to bring up demand and things like that. I don't know. And rinse. Wonderful first pass. Wonderful shave. Slickness, creaminess. Felt terrific on my face. Rinse was luxurious. Creamy, great feeling in the hands. The face just, there was substance to it, but it rinsed fairly easily. I didn't do a full rinse though. And so this is generally a $12 puck of soap. And I tell you, it beats the socks off of a soap base of $27 soaps. At least in my opinion. So I put that extra teaspoon in here, and so I just want to equalize the lather, get a good mix. So the brush, I think I will kind of put it in the list where I put it through some wet, dry cycles to maybe help the tips to break in, because it does feel a little broom-like right now, with a few prickles here and there. So maybe give it some more time. And that is kind of like the 9/8. So maybe this might go the same way as the 9/8 and get kind of retired and put it. Yeah, I'm definitely starting to feel the prickles more now that my skin has been shaven. You know, it's a little more sensitive now. Maybe this is just a little bit too much like the 9/8, 10098. I don't know. We'll give it some chances though. Bring it in every once in a while and let's see. Inexpensive, man. Some of these boar brushes, it's so great that they're so cheap. And many of them, the Zeniths and the Simogues, 15 bucks for this boar brush, and it feels so good. Different than a Badger, you know, but Badgers cost a lot more money. Yeah, this is just a tremendous match of blade and razor. Going cross grain here. This is just thoroughly enjoyable. If you don't have enough money for, you know, some exotic razor, try to maybe find one of these deluxes. I mean, they're sometimes they're, you know, 50, 60 bucks maybe. You might be able to luck out and find somebody who doesn't quite know the value of one, selling it on eBay or something like that. But it's a lot better than a $200 razor. And man, at least for me, it's a piece of history, but it's also a great shaver. Close shaver, comfortable. I do feel the edge just a little bit, but man, very, very comfortable. And the glide with this shave is tremendous. And I've spent the last couple of shaves face lathering, trying out with the Prix de Provence, you know, trying to get a good face lather with it and all that. I mean, look at that lather right there. That is awesome. Pillowy, soft, but still a little bit of cushion, lots of slickness. And all three passes were amazing. Instead of the face lathering where it changes. And then if it gets too thin, you have to add some more soap and kind of reformulate, you know. Definitely a skill to it. I'm not saying it's, you know, it sucks. But I'm just glad to be back to bowl lathering, and maybe I'm glad I ended up choosing the fine soap because I wanted to come back to bowl lathering and have a really good experience with it. And this is a nice slick performance lather. Now I don't know if it's the brush and the prickliness, but I am kind of starting to feel a little buildup of some tenderness. I'm starting to feel more of the prickles with the brush. All right. So let me check out. Yeah, nice close cut. Very good. I think the 17, because it's got it's a little bit wider base before the open comb starts. And the reason I say 15 and 17, you see where the teeth come in and then they stop being teeth right there. And likewise, the teeth come in and then the cutouts stop right there. You measure between those 2 points where the cutouts stop, and that's 15 millimeters. The 17 is a slightly wider head, at least in terms of where it puts those open comb and things like that. And it's a little smoother razor, and think noticeably smoother. I am happy with this shave. Haven't used this balm in a while. Original Nivea, available at all the big box stores. Now, this is one of the few actual balms / lotions. Contains a little bit of alcohol. And so to me, it kind of works pretty well because my oily skin likes the alcohol, but after a shave where I've felt the blade a little bit, and the like I said, the brush tips were starting to kind of bother me a little bit. The balm aspects are welcome, and just a decent scent here, manly and a little bit spicy, and I think it would appeal to a good many people. $5, so it's at a good price range. If you have really dry skin, it's probably not a strong enough hydrator for you, but anybody else, I think could probably benefit from it. Now, this just says the original, and for such a long time, it stayed this way, but I can't find this one at Walmart in the same place anymore. What I see is one called Maximum Hydration. I don't know if they just kind of did a rebranding or if this specific one went out, got discontinued, or at least isn't being carried by my local stores. And I haven't really seen this one in other stores either. What I did use is this one similar to this, and I've seen it, I still see it in the stores. It says sensitive, and that's because it doesn't have the alcohol, and that's a good one. I used it for 119 times. That's about how many uses I personally got out of one $5 bottle of it. So I think it's a good buy for people like me. So yeah, I'm happy with the closeness today. I might still use this razor, maybe even with the same blade or something similar, with a really soft brush, and see if perhaps this razor just has a little bit of an irritating factor to me. It felt really good at first, but every once in a while I'll find a razor and blade combo that especially a razor that may be just a little on the aggressive side, and it's kind of stealthy in its aggression. You don't notice it that first time. It feels really good, and then it just slowly starts building up, and then by the end of the shave you feel like, yeah, this bothered me just a little bit, whereas in the beginning you don't pick it up. All right. 6 teaspoons went into that lather. 6 teaspoons plus a little bit of bloom water I poured in. Now we've got enough here. Look at that. There's some good lather right there. Yeah. Yep. That is awesome. That's exactly where I like it, and I love that Fine can take me to this every single time. That's how good their base is. And so it fits me really well. How many passes are in here? Man, I know there are 4 or 5 passes in here, and I just did 3. So that's a lot of passes. Notice the contour here. You want to recreate this kind of lather yourself. Maybe you don't have to pay as much attention to the recipe, loading time, that sort of thing, but look at the texture. Look how it behaves. Look how we're not really seeing a lot of contours. There are kind of some micro bubbles here, but not with this this mixture. You don't, with this soap, you do not really feel them like you do with like some of the vegan soaps. Man, this is tremendous. And you've seen how it behaves in terms of the way it stretches and flops around. So that's something you can look forward to. You can look for as you keep adding water to your own lather, if you want to try to get to this point. Maybe it's not for you. Maybe you like it drier. That's okay. There's room for everybody. Lots of passes of lather for those 6 teaspoons of water. Yeah, so really happy that I finally got around to the green vetiver. Just a fresh green scent. It's not a mild scent. I'm glad it's mild a little bit in strength. I'd say maybe 5 or 6 out of 10 in terms of scent strength. It's not super strong. It would get kind of annoying if that were the case. but it's very green. I think it's a kind of a classic scent. The fresh vetiver is more like the Tom Ford gray vetiver, whereas the green is different. It's a little more punchy. I like it. I like it. I'm glad I have it. So if you do buy these, they call them bowls, soap bowls, loading bowls, another word. If you do buy or have those for the find, keep them around if that's your thing, because they're going to be harder to get as time passes. Now you can still buy the soap in the plastic tubs, and so it should be the same puck. And so unfortunately they're charging a few more dollars because you've got that plastic tub you're paying for instead of just the puck. But I guess nobody bought just the puck very much. So you could take the plastic tub, dump the puck out, put it in your stoneware bowl, and still keep those around. So there's no reason to pitch those if you like them and want to keep using them. And then use that tub for something else. Like, hey, I took it away. Did I? Yeah, I did. I was going to show you my Arco experiment. I've got a Castle Forbes plastic jar that I've grated a whole stick of Arco. I've dumped 2 Stetson cologne aftershaves into it, and I've been mixing around for a couple days. Right now it's getting pretty firm, and I'm having to rotate it because the top part will have the alcohol evaporate, which is what we want, and the bottom will still have some. So I kind of mix it and rotate it every day to get that alcohol out of there. And then once it starts getting really hard, we'll be able to push it in and compact it into the container, and then bam, we've got a great performing soap. But now instead of that lemony industrial scent, it's got something neat like Stetson. It's good to do that with a cheap cologne, a cheap aftershave. And I think I'll probably like the Stetson as a soap better than the aftershave as a part of a scent, you know. I think it's one of those I'd rather have as a soap. All right, so that's every day I'm making a small clip. At the end, I'll truncate them, I'll concatenate them all together, and give it to you as a video, showing you as a DIY, a how-to video, how to make your own scented soap from Arco sticks. It can be done with Williams by grating it as well, but this time I'm choosing Arco for just to be different. Okay. Good shave. Face feels good. Balm did its job. I feel just a very, very tiny bit of, tenderness or irritation over here. But I'm happy with the shave. Today was my first day at my new job. It got delayed actually a week and a half ago. If you're a faithful watcher, you may have heard me say that I was slated to start up a new job. Well, there was some stuff that went on, and they weren't able to bring me in yet. And because of some stuff in the company, and so I wasn't getting a paycheck for a little while there. But yesterday, or today rather, was my first day on the job, and I liked it. So thank you for those of you who are thinking of me and hoping the best. All right, now I sure hope this shave has had something good for you, that has helped you out. This is Sugar Daddy Shaves. Take care. Bye.